Boom. This now comes into my lock, okay? There are two objects with a knife that are slightly different than a gun. Well, they're not, they're a little bit more difficult with a knife. Number one is not getting cut with the knife, but number two is making sure that knife doesn't change hands. So, as I'm dealing with a knife, one of the worst things that I can do is come in here like this and be like locked up, shoulder please. Be like locked up here and I'm just dealing with this knife and then he just changes hands and now I'm screwed because now I'm on the outside of him. And now I have to get into a position where I can deal with that knife. That's where I get into having to have other options to be able to exit. If I have a weapon, I need to be able to exit that scenario, which would be soft controls. So here, and now I can access my gun, whatever the situation calls for, but I never want to exit out the front. I'm always looking to exit out the back. So as we're dealing with this, the first thing that we're going to deal with is coming up, dealing with that weapon. The next thing is where I go from here. So we already did building into that clinch. So all that's going to happen here is this arm is now going to swim through that side and I'm just going to step. Now I have that lock up here, okay? From here, if I wanted to secure his grip so he can't change hands, it's just a matter of this, okay? If he starts reaching over to change hands, he did two things, okay? Number one, he just gave me his back, okay? But I also secure the grip. So from here, this is where I get into suplex, put him on the ground, whatever the situation is, depending on whether or not I want to maintain hard control or not, okay? If this guy only has a knife and I have a gun, but I just need the opportunity to use it, then there is absolutely nothing wrong with just throwing him on the ground and accessing my gun, because he lacks mobility and I still retain it, okay? But we're dealing with a gun situation and I have this and I throw him on the ground. I go from hard control to soft control and put him on the ground. We're just gonna shoot each other. So understand, context matters, okay? You have to know what you're dealing with, and that's where getting in and getting that initial clinch and getting that lockup on the individual buys you the time to figure out what's going on. So as we're sitting here, he comes in, boom, this comes through and I'm swimming through, okay? They had asked about building the X up top. You can build the X up top, that's fine. Go ahead. So as I come through here, the only thing I don't like is it puts me in a slightly awkward position to be able to set up a clinch. I'm not saying you can't do it, it's just not a favorite of mine, but it's not wrong, okay? You can absolutely still do it, all right? So as we're sitting here, I don't care what grip he's coming in with, we're gonna work those upper quadrants again. So as he comes in, boom, tie up into the clinch. He goes again, boom, I'm tying up here, okay? In both cases, I'm working towards the non-dominant, or I'm working away from the weapon itself. So as he comes in, the knife is moving in this direction, I'm just stepping out with it, but I'm keeping the knife away from the other hand. I don't want him changing grips on me, okay? He comes in the other direction, boom, this is now taking and I'm pushing this down, okay? All I'm gonna do is take a step through as this swims and I'm gonna lock this up. If his hand starts to reach, I have his grip, okay? All right, so we're gonna work those upper quadrants and we're gonna work the lower. You guys break up and try that.